What's good, people? I just want to make this video real quick based on a response I've got from an internet troll on X, formerly known as Twitter, that's still on this nonsense that black on black crime and violence in the black community is some sort of justification for racial profiling, police harassment, police brutality, and being murdered by the police. One has absolutely nothing to do with the other. And another thing is, you all that's trying to speak on this have no idea of things that we had to go through just being black as far as dealing with the police. I have stories going all the way back to when I was a preteen. And I have plenty of stories I can tell you of my own. There's people on here that's always talking about, oh, this is what the liberal news media puts in your head and you get it from the media. No, I don't get it from the media. I get it from my own damn experience. I can remember being a preteen, going to the mall with my friends. My parents gave me some money. My grandfather then gave me some money. I got plenty of money in my pocket to go to the arcade, the food court, or whatever I wanted to do. No bad intentions. Nothing, have no plans of doing anything wrong. Getting followed around by the police, harassed and messed with. Why? Because we're black, a group of black kids, and they think we're going to do something wrong, think we're going to steal something or do something criminal. We got treated like criminals as kids before we even ever thought about breaking any kind of law. I can remember when I was 17 years old, I had a little black Nissan Sentra, and I put the sound system in myself. I installed it myself. The amplifier, I had the amplifier up underneath the seat, and the wire, something had jerked and made the wire where the sound system wasn't sounding right to me. So I pulled over somewhere and started, messing with the wire, just tried to get the amplifier to sound right. Here come the police, guns drawn on me, acting like I'm trying to steal my own car. I remember when I was in my early 20s, and this is in reference to the Louisville Metro Police Department in Louisville, Kentucky, who had become famous nationally for the killing of Breonna Taylor. I was driving a shortcut Cadillac DeVille at the time. I had a Turkish link gold chain. I had a leather coat on, but at this particular time, I didn't have any insurance. My tags needed to be renewed, and I was just waiting until like my next following payday to go get some insurance and get my tags renewed. I'm just out getting breakfast for my woman at the time, and the police was coming up behind me, and I just kind of slowly tried to avoid them because at the time they just started hitting people up with these high if you didn't have any insurance, there was a real high fine for it. And I'm trying to slowly kind of avoid him or whatever. And I guess he peeped what I was doing. So he followed me. They pulled me over, and he was like, why are you avoiding me? I said, I'm sorry, sir. I'm avoiding you because my tags are expired and I don't have any insurance. Total truth. Yeah, right, buddy. Where's the dope? Snatched me up out of the car, threw me in the back seat of the car, then slammed the car door on my leg, tore my car up, took me down to a holding cell. I had to do 8 hours in a holding cell just because, and only for them to find out that I did auto reconditioning for a living. I can recall, later on in my early 20s, I was riding the passenger seat with this Italian white girl. This is back when we were doing music, and she had did a song with us. She played instruments and she sung, had a nice voice, sounded like Mariah Carey. And this, song turned out good or whatever. She was excited about it. We riding around Louisville. This is the same Louisville Metro Police Department that I'm making reference to, the ones responsible for the killing of Breonna Taylor. She made an illegal turn in front of the police. Like, here's the lane that she was in. There's the turn. Here's the lane she's supposed to be in. The police is in that lane. She cut in front of the police straight, instead of cutting over and getting in the lane and then turning, she cut straight over from that into in the turn. I said, you just cut in front of the police. They're about to pull us over. Sure enough, woo! So we get pulled over. Did they even say anything about the illegal turn? No. Pulled her out of the car. Took her away from the car. One cop's coming on this side. The one other cop is taking her away from the car and asking her, who's this guy? What do you know about this guy? What's going on here? The other cop's over here hounded me. I'm not even driving the car. I didn't make no illegal turn. And this is what I had to go through, but I'm the black person in the car. Sat there for probably, this is back before it took about a half hour, 45 minutes for them to be able to do a background check just to make sure that I didn't have any warrants or anything. It was all about me. I can tell these stories all day long. So for all of you that's talking about, this is something that the media is putting in your head. No, ain't no media put nothing in my head. I've had people who was straight outstanding people, but got dope planted on them and stuff like that just because the police thought they was something, and that's how they try to get out of, any kind of harassment issues, planting dope on them and doing all this kind of stuff. I know this firsthand. And now, as time went on and time progressed, back in those days or whatever, there was pretty much more police beating on people and stuff as it was murder. Now, as time went on and we've witnessed all these police murders, people say, well, why are you so worried about getting killed by police when black people kill each other all the time? Is that supposed to be some kind of a justification for the people that's supposed to be protecting and serving the community? I'm bringing this up, we just passed the day that was like the 8-year anniversary of the killing of Philando Castile. Philando Castile told the officer that he had a gun in the car. If he had planned on doing something with the gun and doing any harm to the officer, why would he tell the officer first? Shot him dead in front of his girl and went his kid in the car too? Y'all gonna get off of this nonsense. Ever since the start of the Black Lives Matter movement, and I don't even want to talk about the Mike Brown situation because y'all kill me with actually believing this bullshit story of Darren Wilson that Darren Wilson told, because the prosecutor that was supposed to be prosecuting Darren Wilson was on his side, didn't want to see him get in any trouble, and fabricated all this so-called evidence to act like it was justified the killing of Mike Brown. I've been in real rough areas. I know gangsters. I know dope dealers. I know murderers. I know everything else. I don't know anybody that damn gangster as this so-called overweight teenager, unarmed, that he was supposed to have run at an armed police officer. Here I come, copper. I'm coming to take your gun from you. Give me your gun. Oh, you're so strong. I feel like a 6-year-old fighting Hulk Hogan. And y'all believe that bullshit. Now, what's killing me is y'all can't get off this George Floyd shit. In front of it, I don't give a damn what George Floyd's record was. I don't give a damn what kind of drugs he was on. I don't give a damn what he was doing wrong. He didn't do anything punishable by death to be sit there and just basically knee lynched in front of the whole world. Now, what kills me, conservative Republicans use George Floyd and attack George Floyd. This man been dead since when was he killed? 2020? The man who killed him has been sentenced to 22 years, and y'all still trying to use this man's name for politics. Well, on both sides, we've got the Candace Owenses and all the people that's going for the Republican Party attacking George Floyd as if they're attacking the Democratic Party. You got people like Joe Biden and Democratic Party keep bringing up George Floyd and things like that shouldn't have happened to George Floyd, trying to appeal to black people by using this man's name and the murder of George Floyd, and have nothing to do with no damn white politics. No Republicans, no Democrats, no elephants, no donkeys. None of that shit. Leave that man's name out of it. But this nonsense that y'all coming up with, that is a justification of these type of racial injustices, because black people per capita kill each other at this much and that much, and we're this percent of the nation and this percent of the crime and all this bullshit, that ain't got nothing to do with the people who's supposed to be protecting and serving the community, harassing and patrolling and murdering the community. Get off this nonsense. Like that one has absolutely nothing to do with the other. These people just troll or whatever I've been talking about for years. All they keep doing all day, every day is posting some black on black crime, some black murder, some messed up black stuff. And if you want to play that game, like I can pull up heinous white crime to match every black crime. We can do that all day. There's no such thing as black crime. There's no such thing as white crime. It's all crime. They want to talk about, there's more white people out here that's committed more crimes or whatever because there's way more white people. But they always talk, but per capita, black people, blah, 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 blah. And then they'll sit around and turn right back around and say, well, more white people get killed by police. Yes, but per capita, there is 230 some million white people and 42 million black people per capita. As far as these situations, even the Harvard study showed that black people are still 6 times more likely to get killed in a situation with the police. So I've told my kids, I tell young people or whatever, we actually have to school people on what to do when just getting pulled over by the police for hardly nothing. Now, I've told my kids, I've told youngsters, everybody, I was like, look, keep your license and registration, or keep your license and stuff close. Keep your registration rather than put it in the glove compartment where you got to reach for it. Keep it in that center console where as soon as you see them lights, you can just open it up, stick your hand down in there and pull it out. I don't care if, whether you think that you're guilty of what they're pulling you over for, just pull that stuff out. Have your license and other stuff already in your hand. Have both hands on the steering wheel. And have that window rolled down. As soon as they walk up, keep both hands on the steering wheel until they walk up. And as soon as they walk up, hand them the license and registration and be silent as possible. Don't, no matter what, you're not going to be able to talk your way out of the ticket. If they want to arrest you, you're not going to be able to talk your way out of it. Just don't say nothing. They ask you, do you know why I pulled you over? No. I pulled you over because you were speeding. Okay. You have any questions? No. And get that man out of your face. No, I wasn't speeding, none of that stuff or whatever. We've got to school people on this because something as simple as a speeding ticket or something will end your life, like what happened to Sandra Bland. It started out just a turn signal. Now Sandra Bland is gone. They want to say that she committed suicide in jail. I don't believe it shit. But whatever's what, I don't know. But this whole notion that, now they keep talking about George Floyd. I'm tired of hearing about George Floyd as a political debate. They want to act like George Floyd is the reason why Joe Biden and Democrats won the election. So now all these trolls are all over the internet and attacking black people, all based on they think they're being influential to the presidential election. One has absolutely nothing to do with each other. Now, since my account had been suspended for a couple of years, and since I've been back on Twitter, I've been neglecting my YouTube channel. But I'm going to get back on here and take it more serious or whatever. I got some podcast ideas lined up, got some podcast partners lined up, and I'm about to try to take this more seriously. So, anybody who follows me or anybody who supports me, I'm going to try to get back in this thing and do it for real. And, and also, I'm still going to keep pushing my my push. I refer to it as Black Unity for Black Empowerment, about Black people coming together to build for and protect ourselves, rather than waiting on white politics, or rather than waiting on the white man to have a change of heart and cut the check for reparations. And no, I'm not against the fight for reparations. That's what a lot of people, when I kind of down talk it, a lot of people try to act like I'm against it. Like, I don't know why I'm a Black American. My family tree goes back almost 2 centuries from right here in Kentucky. Most of my family lives in Kentucky and Ohio area. That would be taking reparations for myself. No, I'm not against it. But as far as waiting for white politics and all that to build, I think, we need to focus. This ain't no bootstraps. We got to pick ourselves up by the bootstraps of, we might not have no choice. And one of the things that a whole lot of these other minorities and things are doing that we're not doing is coming together and working together and building. So I'm going to get on that, and I'll be back on here. Peace.